Welcome back to another episode. It is myself, Sigalicious as Roggle calls me, and we have Ruggy, Barbie doll princess over there himself.
Rocky. I'll take it back, Sigalicious. You can't use it anymore.
Too late. It's been on 3 episodes.
Roggy.
Ruggy. Let's see here. I can call you Ruggy. I'm eating old people candy.
Geriatric candy. That's what you're eating.
This would pull their teeth out. How dare you?
You're supposed to suck on them.
These are soft caramels. You don't suck
That's
on
a
them.
new one. Back in the day, there was just that shit. You just sucked on it. That's what she said.
No, she did not say that to you.
I don't know.
She can't get pregnant that way, so it's not beneficial to her. Jokes aside, this weekend, so we're just going to dive into it because I got nothing nice to say, so I'm going to keep it to myself for once. We'll see. It'll change.
Yeah,
I'm only starting my drink. All right, so this weekend is our last pay-per-view or premier live event. They are pushing really hard to go away from pay-per-view since we're not paying for anything anymore. Which
you pay for Peacock.
No, you're subscribing. That's the difference. Anyways, it's WWE's last premier live event before WrestleMania. It's the Elimination Chamber this February 18th, which is Saturday, live on Peacock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever, watch it there. We have, this not only is the last premier live event, but it's almost 2 full months. It's it's almost 2 full months until it's over. It's 2.5 months till the next pay-per-view, which is, did we say April 1st or May 1st? It's WrestleMania.
Mania should be May.
No, it's April because it's an April Fool's thing. That's right. So 1.5 months. So April 1st and the 2nd. So 1.5 months until the biggest premier live event in WWE, which means they'll have plenty of time to solidify storylines this Saturday, start new storylines this Saturday, and of course the fallout on Monday Night Raw preceding this. So there's lots of stuff they could do, and of course the biggest talk of the the biggest talk in the town right now about Elimination Chamber is of course the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns facing off against Sami Zayn. We're going to save that for last because there's a lot of stuff to go into that. But the other matches we have on the card, as of this recording, I don't think anything's going to change Friday night on SmackDown. But as of this recording, we have the Undisputed Championship match, Reigns versus Zayn. We have the WWE US Championship match in an Elimination Chamber style with Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. We also have that same match style, Elimination Chamber, for the Raw Women's Championship #1 contender match, and that has Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Natalie, and Carmella. And then, of course, we have 2 simple matches, basically. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley of Judgment Day. And then we also have Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, which this would be their 3rd match in their series. So it's safe to say this is probably going to be their end of their saga, whatever you want to call it, feud. There we go. I will get the right words out tonight, I promise.
I think with the Lashley Lesnar one, I don't think it ends in a winner. I think it ends in a no contest. I think they end up having a 4th match at Mania.
Yeah.
That's what I think ends up happening. I don't think they have one that really that nullifies the winner of the 3rd.
I mean,
I think it carries in the Mania.
I think it'll carry the Mania in some way or another, but I don't know how exactly, because I have a lot of time. I've been looking at rumors and speculations and bullshit, and right now, supposedly, the constant rumor is that they're looking to get Gunther into a match with Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania and have it be like as one wrestling report said this is their big boss battle for Gunther is Brock Lesnar. And so have him defeat Brock Lesnar would solidify him as, quote, the next big thing. Which again, you can't have a next big thing. And I don't think they're ready for that yet.
They've got, I mean, they have plenty of big guys. Gunther is a big dude. But I mean, you have Strowman, who I don't know if they're still trying to push with him and Ricochet as a tag team. Lesnar, Lashley. I mean, you've got some other big dudes also that are around. I mean, Omos is somewhere around. But even some of the other guys, I mean, I don't know how long who's the dude that's in Elimination Chamber? The big dude. I can't remember his damn name.
Bronson Reed?
Yeah, it's him. That's another big dude that, I mean, if he gets the right push, could be decent.
He was
good in
NXT.
Yes. So, I mean, it's plenty of big guys. I have a hard time with Gunther. I think it's just the way that they've packaged him in this clean cut technical style. It bugs me. I've talked about it before. It bugs me.
Yeah. The purist, which again doesn't really go very well for the whole German group. Didn't work in 1936 to 1942. Don't think it's really gonna flow so much in 2020s. I could be wrong. History does technically have a way of repeating itself. So
I mean, it could work.
Be careful, Sami Zayn.
It's who knows. I think with that one though, I think it ends up being a no contest. Something happens of.
But who do you think causes it, or do you think it's like a double count out type thing where they just
I think it's something like that. They just go all out. Yeah. So I think I said the same thing for Rumble also. Was that the last time they wrestled?
No, they didn't. No, they haven't wrestled Survivor Series. Would have been the last one.
Maybe that's what I said. But I'm waiting for the one where they just go all out and they destroy everything.
Which, I mean, that's how they should do it, or at least they should have like a no contest where it's really just the two of them putting on a great in-ring show, letting it spill outside of the ring, and then just going ham on each other and just beating the ever-loving shit, destroying the tables, the barrier, and all that, and even like disappearing to the back, and just have it be no contest, and that leads up to this epic showdown between the two of them at WrestleMania in like a street fight or a Hell in a Cell match or something with that nuance of we're going to come find them, but we're also going to put them in such a deadly, not deadly, but dangerous match, whether it's Extreme Rules, TLCs, Fall Count Anywhere, wherever fancy name they want to give it. But throw them in that so where it could just be pure chaos and let these two behemoths that should have fought well over 10 years ago are just now getting to it, but they're making the storyline work very well with this. So I agree. I think he'll go to WrestleMania. I just don't know. I don't see how they're going to do it without just doing a very foreseeable, double count out. Darn. So, which would be kind of boring unless it's a tear the house down moment.
Yeah, they took it outside the ring and did something like that, and then one is standing over the other outside the ring, counted out that way, but one's standing while the other one is down, and like something kind of like how they used to do with Raw. But they did Raw style of like, Attitude Era. I mean, not Raw style, but like Attitude Era. They would have like, the cars that are crushed and stuff like that. Of something of a bigger demeanor of like, say, Brock has a tractor that does something and holds him down so he can't do anything else, or he runs him over and stabs him with the front of the tractor blade or whatever, something along that lines, and he just kind of you know what I mean, like kind of how they used to do in the Attitude Era, where it was kind of like he didn't beat him, they both lost, but one is standing there kind of laughing style, I guess, like Stone Cold style, where he would laugh.
It would have to. So if they did that, I think the way for it to work though, with this PG entering PG-13 era that they've started, would be to basically get outside the ring, get counted out, but they still fight throughout the arena, and they constantly get tracked throughout it. And then we see Bobby Lashley finally on the ground with Brock above him, finally giving Brock the advantage. Because so far, while Brock has won, Bobby Lashley has always made sure he's not getting up, or he tapped out, or he passed out, whatever. So it's time for Lesnar to get that final aha moment, or fuck you, whatever you want to call it, and make it where there's a need for WrestleMania of, well, neither one of us won, but I got the last laugh. And then Bobby Lashley's big thing right now for this whole storyline is, I say when we fight, I say when we do this, because I've beaten you every time. I've made you quit. I've made you pass out, whatever it is. To always look how big of a badass I am. So now it's time for Brock Lesnar to get that and be like, you forget who I am. I'm the Beast. I'm the one that defeated the Dead Man, and bring kind of that moniker back. So I think in agreement. It's just a matter of like how they finish it. Of course, that's the big speculative moment. And the funniest rumor I've seen with that one is again, it involves Gunther, which makes no fucking bloody sense. But Gunther costs Lesnar the match, causing Bobby Lashley to win, which then leads up to that feud. But again, that's not a good finish between these two monsters. It doesn't make sense for that to be the fallout.
I think we talked about also eventually I'd want to see the Hurt Business that it's right, Hurt Business.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah. That one kind of start to come back together, because it's slowly starting to, with what MVP's doing.
Well, you're seeing the background of all the interview segments.
Yep, he's there. It's just, will it come together at this point, or is it going to be a little bit still? I don't see it benefiting the whole storyline for them to come in and get involved right now, unless they're going to really just kick the shit out of Lesnar and then kind of leave it at that, as they're all standing over him in that manner. And then he just has, a month and a half to clean house and wreck through all of them to get back to Lashley for a match at Mania. If they want to announce the Hurt Locker or Hurt Business back together, the Hurt Business is back together type shit. Yeah. So that's another thing to keep that going. But again, that puts a lot more presence on Lesnar having to be around for the next month and a half, and we know damn well that he's limited on appearances anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to chew it all up real quick.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think Hurt Business will come to play by any means.
No, I don't think so either. I want to see it at some point.
Yeah. I think if it happens, we'll see the payout begin on WrestleMania. On a final match when it's like a Extreme Rules, no rules contest, whatever. And Lashley's just getting the shit beat out of him by Lesnar. And at that point, we see the Hurt Business come out. Whether it's Cedric and Benjamin, or it's Omos, whatever, just start bringing him out and basically assisting Lashley to get a win on the biggest stage of them all, and say, look, I beat you. And then, of course, ends it, but it also leaves that room for, well, you didn't beat me clean. So, since Lesnar's already limited on his appearances and how many matches he has and everything, that'd be a good way to kill it, but also like leave the door just barely open.
Yeah.
For a fifth match, because it's either best of 3 or best of 5 or 7, but it's always 3, 5, or 7. So that would leave a perfect opening to, we're not done. No. We're gonna go through this.
You've got SummerSlam, and then maybe even Survivor Series too. So who knows?
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, again, we're in agreement. Neither one will win. The next match, though, because we're just kind of going to work backwards. The next match is Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
You mean the most pointless match on the pay-per-view? The most meaningless match. I'm over it. I don't really care who wins this match.
This is a storyline that's been drawn out way too long.
way too long.
And
And
it's
at this
not done
point,
properly. At least,
it's
okay, to
not.
me, it's not done properly.
I don't see the point of it. I mean, so what? Okay, now they're going back and forth. Beth Phoenix and Edge and Balor and Rhea. Like, what's the point? In this one, there's no way. There's no way Rhea's going to lose any momentum that she has after winning the Rumble, going into Mania. I mean, that's Balor and Rhea are going to come out victorious in this one.
So
Is the way I see it. I don't see her losing anything right now.
the thing is with like Judgment Days, there's no definitive leader, and Edge has mentioned that several times. And there is a way to protect Rhea, and it would be Finn has to take the fall. He pins. I think that's what's gonna happen. Finn loses, and it's gonna kind of forge a crack and basically said, "You all are weak. Mommy's here. I'm gonna take care of you now. Shut up and sit down," type thing. Because that's the persona she's going with right now is mommy. So, mommy knows best. Why not let mommy be the boss? That's the most time I said mommy in like a 30-second gap.
You are a Dominic fan. Okay. Did you see their Valentine's skit?
Maybe.
Where Ray and his wife were at a restaurant, and Dominic and Rhea were supposed to have dinner.
Yeah.
They took it essentially from it, and now it's Ray has pretty much cut Dominic off of funding and his cards and everything else, so Rhea had to pay, and she started to get a little annoyed, but whatever, I guess.
That's another storyline that either needs to happen or they need to just kill it. Because they're teasing at it, but at the same time you have Rey Mysterio, who's not only just said it in like WWE settings, but even outside in interviews and television appearances and everything. Would you ever wrestle your son? And he's always like, no, I don't want to wrestle my son. That's not right. But if we can make it work, maybe. But no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want me to get hurt. And he's all about protecting both of them. Mm-hmm. But the way they're doing these stupid holiday segments, they're teasing it like it's gonna happen, and you can't have. I refuse to let Ray's retirement match to be against fucking Dominic and let Dominic win. Like that's stupid. And I get he's carrying the mantle. He'll take the mantle. No, he's taking fucking Eddie Guerrero's mantle right now. He can't have both. Pick one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Vicky Guerrero's not too happy with everything they're doing. You know, she's Vicky, so kind of is what it is.
Other people who have said Eddie Guerrero would be proud and happy with how he's portraying himself right now. I don't think either one's true, but who knows? He's also been dead for a while.
No, in no way would. I mean, it's too far off, and I mean, you're never gonna be able to justify or anything with the way he is going to try and portray Eddie's persona. It won't happen.
It won't work. He doesn't have that.
Ray and Dominic, the match wouldn't work. Nothing about that match would work. Dom is not good enough to keep up with Ray.
Well,
and
if he like wrestling, he's not good on the mic. He's not good on appearances. He doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the I don't want to call it appearance, but that's really what it is. Like the gravitational pull where everyone's like, "Oh my God, Ray's here." The moment you hear 619, everyone's like hooping and hollering. Dominic has nothing to catapult him into even be near in the same leagues as Rey Mysterio.
I mean, he is looked at as one of the best heels right now, though. That's as much as I hate to say it. He's looked at one of the best heels. I don't know why, but that's where it's at.
People hate him.
Yes. I mean, and it makes sense. That's what you're supposed to do with the heel. And the fact that everybody hates him, good or not, on the mic, he sucks. He's horrible. He brings the heat to himself. He's the whiny kid that won't go away.
But he has that heat where it's not like, I wouldn't say it's true heat. Like the Miz has true heat. Rhea Ripley has true heat. Yeah. Dominic is like that very convoluted mixture of legitimate people just don't like him because they don't like
Mhm.
his skill set, his abilities. He's just not good. So they're
Mhm.
legitimately shitting on him for actual reasons, legitimate reasons, nothing to really pertain to his character. Just he's not there yet. And then there's a flip side that they just don't like his character either. His character is not there yet because he does come across as like a whiny little bitch,
Mhm.
and it works. But it also comes off as like a prepubescent teenager who doesn't know how to trash talk.
Yeah,
You know, like in the lobbies nowadays.
that's
So it's just ridiculous, and he's one of those
yes.
like I've said this numerous times. I think we've agreed on this numerous times too. Is he needs to go back to developmental, whether NXT or legit developmental, and just have a solo run there and hone his craft, get a little bit better, and not be in this hodgepodge fucking faction of Judgment Day where there's no true leader, but Rhea Ripley is really dominant. But
Hmm.
then Finn Balor's on a whole nother level that he hasn't been at since when he won the WWE Championship before he had to lose it the next night. And then Damian Priest is very good as a heel, and
Hmm.
he's I would say he's good on the mic when he remembers his script or his words or whatever. Because
he,
he has had
he's got me so mad I
several
can't think
weeks.
straight.
He's had several weeks where he's fumbling on the mic,
Yeah, and
and
I think a lot of that
it
was
looks
on
bad.
Edge too. That whole the thing between them and Edge, and when Edge is just like shut up, he said to Dominic, but like Priest couldn't even get his shit straight, and I don't know, it just seems like the whole, and it's just the whole thing, everything with Edge and Judgment Day. It just seems like there's a lot of legit tension between them, and the fact that I think Edge resents the whole Judgment Day because of what happened and the storyline. It just feels like he really doesn't like everything that's going on
Yeah,
because of
like
how it
it's
was
no
supposed to
longer
go.
story arc; it's
It's
legit.
now personal, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's just how it seems like right now. Like it's more of a legit grudge that they're holding, and I don't know if you noticed either. Like Edge is starting to look older. Like his like recently, I don't know
yeah.
what he just looks physically older. I mean, he's not like young by any means, but the way
He looks
he's
drained.
looking,
He
he
looks
does.
drained.
Yes, he does. And if that's the case with him, man, he's got to be done soon.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'd hate to see him
his
end
contract's up this summer.
is the summer.
Hmm.
I'd hate for it to end on this.
No,
Like,
you can't end on this. That'd be stupid.
no, I'd hate for it to. It would suck for him to end on this and then be done. But again, I think what you say makes sense, but I don't see Judgment Day losing it. I see Edge losing it in some
Find out.
fashion,
Saturday.
or Rhea pinning Beth. While
If Rhea
the
wins, Rhea's gonna pin Edge to emasculate him.
that can make sense too.
Because they're not gonna stop with this. This is not the last match.
God, I wish it was.
So if they continue this on, the way they're gonna do it is going to be to emasculate Edge and be like, "You got pinned by Rhea,"
Mm-hmm.
and now there's this WrestleMania moment, but it really still can't happen because Rhea's in a championship match. But it'd be
Yeah.
the only way to continue this story. But if they win, the story continues one way or another. It's just drawn out, boring. It's not good, and I got nothing nice to say about it. I hate Dominic.
No, I mean, unless they're gonna do a Balor Edge match of some kind,
Maybe,
but I don't know.
but with Dominic, because we've mentioned him a lot. What do you think his involvement is in this match?
In the Judgment Day in the this match here,
Yeah,
because him and Priest don't have any match.
Priest does. He's in the U.S. title match.
Oh, did he make that one? He did make that one. That's right.
I just read it off. Yeah,
I
he
know.
made that one.
Um,
Just like my children. He doesn't listen.
but I do think well, and he's a distraction for Rhea. Is what I think it ends up being.
But if
A
he's a
distraction
distraction,
for Rhea.
that means they lose.
But I don't think it's going to be the point of them losing. It'll be something, a distraction of in some manner, but I don't think they lose. Or maybe they do. That's how. I don't see Rhea getting pinned though.
No, Rhea will remain
But
safe.
like,
She will not be pinned. That can't happen. She cannot be pinned before WrestleMania.
No, I don't see. I agree. I don't know, overly protective of her, and then it screws Balor over somehow, and that causes friction between them too. Maybe, I don't know.
Or Balor is yelling at Rhea to get back and leave Dominic alone, and that Dominic distracts Rhea, Rhea distracts Balor, Balor gets pinned, done.
Yeah, and that could be that creates another rift right there. But like the whole, I mean, I think we're in agreement. We want the whole storyline to end, the Judgment Day to kind of figure it out and kick Dominic somewhere. But that's just a distraction of the little kid that won't go away.
Yeah.
With Rhea.
Yeah.
This is where I see him in the match somehow.
I mean, he's going to be involved. It's just to what degree.
Mm-hmm.
But enough about that match. Again, it's a pointless story match that will probably have no real implications at all towards WrestleMania. Again, unless Rhea somehow pins Edge to emasculate him, that would be the way. But again, that murkies the water for Rhea's progress to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, you just show how dominant she is as a female wrestler, but that'd be the only thing that she can. She's the only one that can benefit from this match.
Yeah. It doesn't behoove anybody.
No.
So, let's move on to this one. I will say, I felt got robbed of a very good potential start. That is a Raw Women's Championship #1 contender elimination match with, again, Raquel Rodriguez versus Asuka versus Liv Morgan versus Nikki Cross versus Natalie versus Carmella. I say they got robbed of an interesting start because on Monday Night Raw we saw Becky versus Bayley versus Bianca. And if either one of the two won, and if Bianca did not win, whoever won between Becky and Bayley would be entered into the Elimination Chamber match, making a triple threat at the beginning. That could have been such a potential, like, catapult moment to increase and make Elimination Chamber a little bit more interesting. Now we have more than 6 people in the chamber. We have 7. 3 are going to start the match out, and it's going to be just an all-out brawl from the get-go versus these 2 are going to just kind of fight back and forth slowly and methodically until the first chamber opens, and then it all goes to hell. So I personally think they've screwed that up by not having Becky or Bayley. I don't care which, preferably Becky, but have one of those 2 have entered in the Elimination Chamber and make it a triple threat, just to be a little bit more interesting and to separate itself even more from the men's chamber match. That's going to start the same way.
Yes. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot in this match as much as they're trying to push the women's division. They're doing a great job at doing it, but I don't see.
No, they're going to do a good job on Raw. On Raw, SmackDown's women's division has been very underwhelming since Ronda had the title, and now that Charlotte has the title, it feels very, it's just
very stale and stagnant. Yeah, that's where it's at, and that's where it's going to be at until
WrestleMania.
Central's, Rhea ends up taking it from her.
She better take it from her.
Yeah, I mean, I think she does. Out of these, I mean, there's a lot of good wrestlers that are in this one with Asuka, Liv Morgan, Raquel. I like.
There's 3 good ones and then 3 fillers.
Yes, I mean, I like My favorite one, I hate Carmella. I can't stand her.
Same.
Natalia is like
Past her
extremely
prime.
old and has some weird ass outfits that she keeps coming out in.
Well,
Um,
she hasn't captured that moment or whatever. She hasn't captured the audience very well, either as a heel or a babyface. She never hits with the audience.
no,
She either comes out very whiny and like, I did the heart dungeon. I was the last one. I deserve this. Or she comes across very obnoxious, peppy go lucky. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. We don't
yeah,
give a shit about your cats. Shut up. So she's there. She's annoying. And I get they're probably going to give her the title at some point before she retires just to say she had it and be done with it. Even if it's a she has it, Money in the Bank cashes in on her. She'll have the title before she retires. And then Carmella's a joke.
she is. And Nikki Cross is a Wish
She's
version
weird.
of Mankind, which
Not
reminds
even
me
a
of.
wish. That's an insult to Wish. Insult.
Like, okay, so out of the three with Asuka, Liv, and Raquel, I mean, I love Liv Morgan, but I think Asuka comes out with the win in this one. They're
So
pushing the darker
this is to go against Bianca
Bianca.
Belair.
Yes.
So again, SmackDown has zero presence on this card
Mhm.
other than
And
Roman Reigns.
I think it's Asuka that takes the win in this one.
See, I love Liv Morgan. I think it's gonna be Raquel because Bianca is the EST, the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, whatever.
Mhm.
But then you have this giant
Yes.
of an Amazon woman, Raquel Rodriguez, just come in,
Mhm.
and she's, if not as strong, she's equally as strong, if not stronger than Bianca. And I think she's taller than Bianca too by like several inches. Because I
I
think she
believe
said she
so.
was 6 foot at the
I think
Royal Rumble.
she towered over Damage Control on
Yeah,
Monday
so
when they all came out.
well, Io and um, Dakota are really tiny people to begin with.
Yeah, and also, speaking of the Monday night runouts and how big of a debacle and botch of everything that was, the women's division, the pushes they're getting, again, like I said, it's great, but when
It's
things are
off.
happening and storming of the castle, when they're all coming down and all hell's about to break loose, but then they all get there and it seems like nobody knows exactly what to do. Like
Yeah.
one of the damage, I don't know who was, hit Raquel and she just stood there like, no, you're supposed to go over here, and she kind of just threw her, and then they kind of went off camera, and then Raquel comes back, and like, what's the hell's going on? There's random people are flying around. It was
I
all
think it was
very
Io,
very
if I
off.
remember correctly.
It might have been, and it was all very off in the whole beginning of the scramble that they had,
Yeah.
and very weird how they started everything. And obviously, watching wrestling for a long time, you see when guys come out, it's they're throwing hands no matter what. They're doing something, big boots, whatever. It's not everybody come down and kind of
And
stand right there at the head of the ring.
and that's the thing, like no hate whatsoever. Because the women division is still relatively new in the concept of like them actually being treated like proper wrestlers and not just a
Mhm.
diva, a pair of tits and ass. Like they're being treated as an actual wrestler. And I don't think maybe they're just not catching on, or maybe the training behind the scene is still very old school. But you see a lot more what feels like miscommunication. I don't want to say botches because that's not. It's all live. It's really hard to say. Oh, that was supposed to go that way. It's live. It's botched. It can't be botched. But anyways, it doesn't seem as fluid when it comes to chain wrestling or spot wrestling. Like it feels there's a disconnect still missing. Whereas, like you said, the men's go and they just go 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 go. Yes, there's mishaps and missteps, but they're not as noticeable unless it's like a big guy like Braun Strowman.
Mhm.
It's not very noticeable. Whereas the women, like you pick up on it really quick, like you said, where Raquel got hit by, I believe it was Io, and she kind of just had that look of that's not supposed to happen. That's
Yeah.
not where we are. It feels very heavily scripted, like WWE used to be before Hunter became in charge, or not Hunter, sorry, before the last like year and a half, where they stopped doing very heavily scripted and they just let them kind of go out. And then Hunter definitely pulled the reins back on that, or pulled the curtains back and said, "Here you go, just stick to these keynotes and make it work." And it just feels off in the women's division.
It's a lot of it's timing.
It's bad timing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, timing between moves, timing between spots, timing between high points, low points. It's just the timing, and a lot of what you said too. Just the spots that they're hitting. I mean, there are a lot that are amazing. Becky Lynch can do amazing job inside, outside the ring.
They used to be able to.
Yes,
used to.
It's
not
and
now.
It seems also like Becky is starting to struggle on the mic. The last time I heard her talk, it just seems like she's trying to put more of her personality into it, but it's not coming out the way I think she's wanting it to. So I think she's trying to change a little bit of it, and I like the way she's going.
Story, though. I think that has more to do with the story, where it's just like because like when I watch it, it comes across very like disingenuous, where it's just like she doesn't want to do this anymore. She's done.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw a little bit of a flare up when Bayley mentioned Rollins and her kid, and you can see, okay, shit got a little bit personal, and she became a little bit more herself and became Mama Bear. But at the same time, even then, like, it just came across as though she's done. She doesn't want to do this story anymore. She's done. Let's wrap this up. Let's be done with it. Let's move on. And I think we saw that too on Monday night when she's like, I'm sick of fighting with you. I'm sick of doing this. I'm done with you. Because of you, I messed up my WrestleMania. I messed up my chance to go to, or Royal Rumble, sorry. I messed up my Royal Rumble. I messed up my chance to go to WrestleMania because of you. I was too distracted with you three. So I think that wasn't more scripted, but more so of like her just venting, saying, I'm done.
Yeah.
Fuck this. And hopefully that storyline is done, because again, Bayley's not who she used to be. Io Sky she comes across just not clumsy, but she comes across very cautious. Like she wants to do all this high stuff, and she's a master of the sky or whatever, and yet she doesn't have that ability. It's like when they did the chamber, or not chamber, sorry, when they did the steel cage match last Monday. Goddamn, I'm gonna go through all the matches before we're done, but the steel cage match, and like Lita climbed up and tried to pull her off. She held onto it, and surely she was supposed to let go and take the fall, versus Lita falling down and going, oh, "Let me grab again."
Yeah,
and she doesn't seem to understand or to execute properly. I guess would be the best way. She doesn't seem to execute things properly, and it shows very badly. And same with like Dakota, she's a lot better than Io, but there's still certain things Dakota does or she says, and she's not great on the mic either, and she's just fumbling around. But Damage Control just comes across like a hodgepodge of misfits who, hey, I suck, you suck, and you suck now too because you've been gone for a while.
Let's all suck together.
Pretty much. We're less sucky if we're all together.
So let's think about
Misery
this.
likes
Okay,
company.
They had their chance on Raw to get into the Elimination Chamber. Didn't happen. We did have the botched match, which didn't happen because on the WrestleMania 30 didn't happen because it got pushed. Yep. Then next week it happened. Lita comes out, it helps out Becky, and the week after, which will be last Monday, had their match. They had their chances, whatever. So then, what are the chances of them getting a match added for Elimination Chamber of a 6-man tag?
At Elimination Chamber? None.
Becky and Lita against Damage Control. None. And a third
WrestleMania?
Mystery.
Yes. I bet you anything. It'll be WrestleMania. It'll finish out the storyline. It'll be Becky, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control. Because Becky has interacted with both Lita and Trish already, and those are the only two that are actively, well, active as legends.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see them having any other legend come in other than maybe Beth Phoenix, but she's more doing this whole Judgment Day shit. So kind of like Judgment Day. I hope it ends.
We'll see.
I don't know, but looking
You
at
have
this
Raquel
Raw,
winning that one?
yeah, I have Raquel.
Okay.
Again, it makes more sense to have a powerhouse moment. Uh, but I can also see Asuka winning, but she's also like they're still building her character up, so I think it's too soon for her to be pushed into that type of moment. I think she'll have her moment come SummerSlam. But I think Raquel will win the Elimination Chamber, and she will go on to hopefully put on one hell of a match against Bianca at WrestleMania. Hopefully,
I think Asuka will
because
be able to put on a better match than Raquel would.
oh yeah, but Asuka's been very like if you watched the couple matches she's been in, and even like Royal Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't seem up to par to where she was even before she took a little vacation away from WWE. She seems like to have a little off step at all. Doesn't seem as fluid. So it could just be me and trying to like look back at how dominant she was, and now she's kind of like going through the motion type thing. And now that she's back, she just seems off a little bit.
Hmm.
And we don't have her full character development yet. But they
No,
are
but they
pushing
are
towards
pushing the darker side of her, which I like. So hopefully that'd be a good one for her to go with. So we'll see.
I want Liv to go, but the problem is
So
if
do
they
I.
have Liv win and she beat Ronda, so she should in theory beat Bianca, but they're not gonna do that. But Bianca is babyface, so technically Asuka's really the only one that's set to win. I'm still banking on Raquel, and Raquel's kind of been on that fence of babyface yet heel. Like she's been bouncing back and forth, so I think Rodriguez or Raquel will flip to heel and kind of just attack Bianca and be like, "You're not the baddest bitch now. I am."
Yeah, I mean she'd have to go heel in order for her to really even have a match because you're not gonna have two
Yeah.
baby faces go at it.
No, no. So, yeah. Either way, Raquel or Asuka is basically what we're saying. But we would prefer Liv Morgan.
Yes,
But again,
because I do.
she's not a babyface or a heel. She's Lita 2.0.
Yeah,
So she's
but
neither here nor babyface.
watching Bianca lately, she's getting a little bit cockier. She
Yeah.
has a little bit more of swagger to her, and I can easily see her going heel at some point. I don't see her while she holds the title of switching heel. Would it be cool?
She
Oh
could
yes.
she could do like I think her name is Jade over in AEW, who's been the TNT Women's Champion
Mhm.
for fucking 400 plus days, and I believe she started off as a baby face, but she quickly turned heel after getting the champion of just going, nobody can beat me. I'm undefeated. Like, what the hell? I think they could do that with Bianca and just basically have her come out and vent her frustration of there's no one here. I'm done. I've beat them all. I've laid them all to rest. Like, what more is there for me to do? Do I need to go take a vacation? Do I need to go have a baby like Becky? What needs to happen for me to finally get some competition? And just take
Good.
digs at everyone and let her go heel. And it could work.
Yeah,
I
it
just
could.
don't know. I don't know if they would do that with the amount of reaction she gets from the crowd. Doesn't get
I
booed
mean, that could.
hardly ever.
I think if she was to do it right, if they had the right person, the right baby face come in, or Liv Morgan or whoever, and her to dominate that and then turn heel in that fashion, it could work. It just takes the right baby face for her to use as the turn. And then
Yeah.
I think that's where you bring in Becky at some point for Becky Bianca
Yeah, because they've only faced
at
off
some point.
2 times. Becky won, then Bianca won.
Mhm.
I guess they've had 2 matches, yeah.
I think that's one that would be great to see. Would be another Bianca and Becky match.
They put on a hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not the first one, because she got defeated in like 3 seconds, but
Yeah.
neither here nor there. We'll see. Uh, yeah, the next match, which is an interesting one. The WWE US Championship Elimination Chamber match, again with Austin Theory, who's the champion, versus Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. I say this is an interesting one because Dawkins did not make the chamber, but Ford did.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we going to finally see a push for singles run with Ford? Because there's been like we've already seen the cracks go inside the Street Profit of Dawkins gets pinned and Ford is pissed and he just sits there and he's visibly angry, like which would be a good turning point for Bianca too. Bianca gets upset because her husband's being mistreated, so treat my husband better or else type thing, and let Ford go heel. But I think this match alone will have implications for the Street Profits. I think this will either set up for a solo run, or we will start seeing a split of the Street Profits, or possibly joining Hurt Business, not Locker. God damn it, Hurt Business.
It's hard to not say Hurt Locker.
Yeah, I was like, Hurt Locker.
No, that's not it.
That's a movie.
I mean, with this, I'm hoping is a great match. There are some guys in there that I don't understand how they got in or why they're in it. Like Gargano, I don't understand why he's there, but whatever.
I understand why Bronson Reed is there.
He's a big ass dude. I think. I mean, yes, he is a filler, but I think he's a decent filler. Would you rather have Baron Corbin in there, who essentially is probably going to be cut in the next 6 months? I mean, the dude is getting done dirty. They can't figure out his character, and
no, they did. They figured out with the Lone Wolf.
They need to go back to that.
His two characters or his two gimmicks that hit the best with the audience was the Lone Wolf and Sad Corbin.
I fucking hated Sad Corbin.
I did too, but the thing was it hit off really well with the audience. And even like somebody from WWE even mentioned it too on a recent interview or leak, or whatever, where they're like, "Yeah, that's what's going on, and we haven't been able to nail down Corbin." Well, yeah, because he's fucking turned out to be like he's like Doink the Clown.
Hey, I mean, yeah,
he's kind of like Hornswoggle actually, where he has all these little different gimmicks.
He's got potential, but I don't think he's gonna be another Dolph Ziggler who gets to that point but doesn't go past that point. Yeah. He has potential. He can put on a great match. It's just his character is not there. And if they want to go Lone Wolf again,
I would have him not only go Lone Wolf, but I'd have him go after Gunther. Because they're both big ass dudes. Well, I mean, it would make sense. He would be a formidable, as Lone Wolf, he would be a formidable opponent for Gunther. And it would be perfect matchup too for size and all the moves they can each do. Because Corbin has, as much as I hate the dude, he has a range of movements. He's not like Omos, who has, here's my 5 moves.
Yeah.
So it could work, but they have to nail the gimmick down. And Triple H would be the guy to do this too, where he's bringing back NXT gimmicks to characters that are to wrestlers on WWE who are called up. I mean, look at Doudrop. She's not Doudrop anymore.
No, thank God.
And then Johnny Gargano is no longer, I forget what his gimmick was originally, but now he's back to his NXT gimmick. And same with Dexter Lumis coming back, he gets his NXT gimmick. Like, it just works.
I would rather see Lumis in there than Gargano. To be honest, that's what I would rather see in there.
Oh yeah, that honestly would have been more entertaining. Because Lumis is fucking crazy, and he fits.
Yeah.
I also would like to see him as a push, but With this matchup, though, Theory, Rollins, Gargano, Reed, Priest, and Ford, who you got? Who's coming out as U.S. title?
I trashed the guy I don't know how many times, but I'm gonna stick with Austin Theory. I'm starting to like him. Everything that he's got going for himself. Nothing more is going to happen than if you solidify this guy in an elimination chamber match, because Seth Rollins is in it, who's going to do nothing but give him the push and put on the show that he can put on with Austin Theory and the other random people that are in the match. Montez Ford and is also going to be another one that I think does stand out. Um, I would like to see him see a little bit more of a solo run and him able to showcase himself in this. But it's so hard in it's hard in Elimination Chamber because you're limited on what you can do in that ring.
But not
in
with
the manner
Ford.
of
Not with Ford. He's a high flyer. He's literally one of those like the
he
dude
is.
can jump fucking 6 feet off a goddamn turnbuckle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not denying that, but I think the Elimination Chamber will limit him on what he really can do.
I think he does a bunch of high flying spots that end up costing him.
And yeah, he very well could. But I think that this might be a slow coming out match, but I think Mania may be where he gets his push in some fashion. Because I think it'll start to happen, like you had said, where they start to see the rift in between the Street Profits and Montez Ford starts to get his push. And I would like to see it come down to those three, because I think those three, or even, as much as you may not like him, I think Bronson may have a factor in it too.
It's not that I don't like him.
even-
He's just not there.
He's another Otis, kind of. I mean, they're almost the same.
Underneath Vince's regime, yes, he would be another Otis. Underneath Triple H's regime, no. But I think the final four will be Theory, Rollins, Priest, and Montez. I think those are our final four.
Priest also. Yeah.
My thing is, I could see all four of them winning. I could see this catapulting Theory's career, which everyone's saying Triple H is trying to kill, and they don't want him anymore, and it's the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see Theory winning and just catapulting himself into a sub main event on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
or possibly even main event, because if Zayn, well, I mean, it wouldn't matter because the undisputed champions are just that. They're undisputed. They're together. So there's only going to be one night where they have this match. So U.S. title is going to have to be a main event, if not like kickoff type thing. It's going to be a big deal. But this is going to be Theory's ticket, or I can see Rollins getting it, and again, continuing the feud between Theory and Rollins. Overplayed, overdone, but they do have some of the best matches for Theory. Priest would be interesting purely for the fact of he has a title before anyone else inside Judgment Day. And now he kind of goes, I am the champion. I'm the one. I do all this because I have the title.
Yeah, I think the fact that if it is those four, and the sad thing is that that's an easily predictable final four, and I don't think that'll be it, because when it's easily predictable, it never happens.
Okay.
Somehow
in the last 5 years underneath Vince.
Yeah, I would like to see those four. I just don't see Priest being in there. For some reason, I see Gargano being one of the final four. I don't know why, but he's getting a push of some weird reason.
He was a big moment in NXT. So why not?
Yes, true, yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to agree because I don't have an issue with Theory other than he's a little obnoxious. But again, so is The Miz. And it works. And this is, from my understanding and everything I've read, is Theory is going to basically replace John Cena. That's how they're pushing it. Is Theory is going to replace John Cena. He's going down similar routes as John Cena, because John Cena was very much a heelish dick. and then he flipped babyface, and he has this amazing career now. I think Theory is going to be this dick of a character, and maybe flip babyface in a few years, or he's just going to be a dick and he replaces Orton. Because they have to replace John Cena and they have to replace Orton. And Orton's coming to the end of his career if he's not already at it after this injury.
Yeah.
So
I know. I mean, Theory's already done
you need a staple.
Yeah, you do. And I think as much as I hated the guy coming in, I think he does have potential. I mean, I did. I hated him so much.
We have episodes. I know.
I hated him so much, but he grew on me. He has potential. He has the look. His ability in the ring is good. He's already trying to steal the tagline of the champ is here. Yep. I'm like, you need to not do that. Like, come up with your own shit. You're not Cena. I don't want him to get sucked into that because I do like him. And
he's already said my time is now. And I was like, that's literally fucking John Cena.
You know, unless he's wanting a Theory Cena match because
they're working on it.
I mean, if that's gonna happen, cool, and that's the passing of the torch. But gosh, I don't want him stuck in that Cena persona because like Cena got very, very gimmicky and very, very annoying, and him trying to go heel on a lot of things didn't work. And I don't want him to get stuck in that because I do think the guy has a lot of potential. As much as I shit talked him before and hated him before, I've seen it, and now I believe
before anything before the last 6 months.
Yes. And I mean, the whole Vince push that they had, I was like, it's stupid. But again, it worked.
Vince is known to fuck around with characters and fuck around the whole stories, and it's to his whims. And Triple H has done an amazing job fixing that. I think Theory is a prime example of the difference of Vince versus Triple H. And everybody is like, oh, Triple H is burying Theory. No, he has to fix Vince's fuck up of, you're my prodigy. Oh, so not Drew McIntyre from 11 years ago?
No.
He's not the... Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, you're his daddy. Oh. He's the snitch. Oh, okay. Like...
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stupid shit.
Maybe it's just because he grew a beard. I like him. I don't know what it is. He grew the beard
more
and became
serious.
Bad. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
People take you serious too if you had the beard.
I can't grow it. It grows in like patchy.
We'll
Doesn't
see.
work.
I'll give you till November. Stop shaming now. We'll see you in November.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
No, 3 little whiskers on your chin.
No, it'll come in all white trash like Joe Dirt style, like patchy. Shit like that. You'll see whiskers hanging from my chin like this. Yeah, man.
But no, I mean, I agree. I think Theory's gonna take it. The only other person, I don't see Rollins needing it. He has no need for this 3rd championship reign. But
I don't know what's going on with him. Did you see the fucking gigantic space boots he had on? I mean, I did notice that Lil Wayne was wearing them too. So apparently it's a thing to wear these stupid gigantic fucking boots.
I've stopped concerning myself with his outfits because I'm just they're ridiculous. He's still wearing the fishnet shirt. I was like, come on.
Yes.
Stop. I
don't know what he's doing. I get
it. It's annoying, but again, he doesn't need this because he's getting ready to feud with Logan Paul. So that's gonna be WrestleMania. And it would be so fucking dumb to have Rollins win, face Logan Paul for the US Championship. And I have a feeling, because again, Logan Paul hasn't actually won a match. No. He's a highlight reel.
Well, they won with him and The Miz won.
The Miz won it. I don't like The Miz. But either way, okay, fine, I'll rephrase. He has not won a solo match. But anyways, it wouldn't, he's due for a win. And the way a lot of people are talking is he's going to be in the title picture. Because he's proven himself against Reigns, so why not let him face off against a mid-tier title? But again, If he faces Rollins and Rollins wins the chamber match, that means it's going to be a U.S. title match that they more than likely would give to Logan Paul. Because the dude's going to go out everywhere on impulsive and market it. He's going to hype up the U.S. title like crazy. He's going to hype up his future feud with whoever. Because the dude's fucking good at marketing. I will give to the dude. Look at Impulsive, his podcast. Look at Prime. Anything he touches. Look at the Suicide Force. Anything he touches is just, it blows up. Good or bad, it's in the limelight, some means. And it would be a good way for WWE to get the pop and to get eyes on the product, because now Logan Paul has a championship, and now he's going to actually maybe wrestle more than just a pay-per-view. Sorry, Premier Live event. So, again,
I mean, we'll see.
I think it'll be Theory. I want Ford, though. I will say that. I want Montez Ford to win. And for this to be a test run of not only him as a champion, but a test run for his solo, and have him go against Theory and lead up to a feud at WrestleMania between him and Theory.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, though, because the rumor is Theory is going to face off against John Cena at WrestleMania.
Being a champion, though?
Yeah. And there's like speculation is it'll either be a championship match or it'll be a retirement match.
I'm assuming it'll be a retirement match because I don't see any point being a title match in any way.
Well, they could pit against both. They could make it both. Say, I win, I get your title. You win, I leave WWE. And then it's a legit passing of the torch.
Yeah, which, I mean, it'll work either way. The Rollins Logan Paul storyline would be awesome too. I would like to see Logan Paul around more to wrestle more and less on everything else that he does to legitimize himself as a wrestler and step away from everything else. But I don't think he's done boxing yet. I think he's got one or two more he wants to do. He's been called out by some bigger names. And just like, I mean, him and his brother both get called out all the time.
His brother's a fucking joke.
Oh, yes, he is. But they market themselves very well, and they know how to do what they do to get what they want. I mean, you can't deny that, the fact that they've done shit in the manner of what they've done.
Yes. Jake, no. Jake has the coattails of Logan. We'll do a whole different podcast about that. But Jake is nothing without Logan.
But Jake has, I will say at this point, legitimized himself as a businessman to do what he wants within the fighting community. When he teamed with Anderson Silva to create a fighters union for
you mean that the fixed match?
That, I mean, fixed or not, and I'm not saying that all his matches are not fixed. They're all very sketchy. But if he's legitimizing himself to have businesses in a manner of helping out fighters and stuff like that, that's great.
Yeah,
I'll give him props on that. I don't care about the whole. I mean, the people he's fought
are jokes.
Yes, I mean,
other than Silva, Silva is he's not a boxer, but he's a legit mixed martial artist, and I will give it to him. He's a hell of a MMA fighter, but he's not a boxer.
No.
He's like, I believe his fighting style is like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes, I mean he's from Brazil. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he's not a stand-up sling and bang style guy.
Yeah.
If you want to change it to now, and even in their match, the whole contract was Logan Paul loses, they're going to go to have an MMA match, which was not going to fucking happen. Yeah, I say Logan. Sorry, Jake Paul. That was not going to happen.
No.
And that's where they started the whole fighters union and everything like that, and Silva had to join him. But
then
back to Logan.
It was fixed. And anyway, that's a whole different podcast. We're getting off subject.
Back to Logan. And then all that stuff. If it does happen, great. If, like I've said, Theory walks out with this one, setting up, like you said, WrestleMania moment with Cena, which will make probably one of his Theory's biggest Mania moments of the passing of the torch between him and Cena. And then going from there. But I mean, this one should solidify a lot of different storylines for Montez Ford, Seth Rollins, and Theory, possibly Priest or Gargano. As I think those
No,
five. The other two, I don't see really doing much.
this benefits everyone in the chamber match. Theory will benefit because he'll win and it'll catapult his career even further. Seth Rollins will help solidify everyone else, and Seth Rollins is just a hell of a worker.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need it, so it doesn't really hurt him or benefit him, but it still benefits him nonetheless. Johnny Gargano will just finally get the limelight of showing how he actually can wrestle, which he hasn't done recently a whole lot. Bronson Reed will finally get a show off. Damian Priest will finally get to show how dominant he is without Judgment Day. And Montez Ford will be able to show that he's a legitimate single run competitor versus strictly tag team. So no one truly loses in this match, like as far as like what it's going to do with their storyline progression for WrestleMania or their career in general. So it's going to be a great, hopefully a great match. I don't see it being an issue really anywhere except for the fact that, like, if Ford pops off and it gets a good reaction, that's the end of Street Profits. And maybe that's the WrestleMania moment is it's Ford versus Dawkins. Because they split beforehand. They only have a month and a half to do that, but
yeah,
feasible.
I don't see them getting their own Mania match, so it doesn't really give it like. I don't see that being a Mania style match.
If they face off against the Usos again and they lose, the last time they lost against the Usos, that's when Ford sat down on the mat and like he pulled away from Dawkins, and it was like clearly he was pissed off at Dawkins. So it would make sense to lose again and be like, you keep costing us this match. Stop, type thing. And break up. So it'd be interesting.
And then you never see Dawkins again because, as we talked before,
he would have to go to the other branch.
Only one will prevail.
He would have to go to the other branch or the other brand. That's the only way it would work, is you have to leave Raw.
Yeah, I mean, he does have potential to be a decent solo, but nothing of Ford's. Of Ford, I think Ford will outdo Dawkins hands down.
Yes,
I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, he will.
Which sucks as a tag team because that's how it always happens: is one guy gets buried.
Well, we're gonna see it with Usos too, because Jay's going to break away. Which, speaking of which, that leads into our final match of the night, which is Undisputed Championship match: Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. And this is all in Montreal, which is Sammy's country. So it will be interesting. And needless to say, the story for this is amazing. So before we get into any speculation, rumors, implications, or anything, strictly put, who do you have winning? No why, just who do you have winning?
Reigns.
All right, glad we agree. It's just we can get into it now, but it doesn't make any sense to have Zayn win, because they pushed so hard to hint at AEW's background with Cody Rhodes. And the fact that Cody Rhodes was the top face of AEW. Not Omega, not the Young Bucks, not Moxley. Cody Rhodes was legitimatize AEW. He made it what it was, and he was very much involved in it. And without him, AEW would never kicked off, because he had that backing and he had that understanding from his WWE days. So it would make perfect sense for Rhodes to come over and to finish out the dream match of winning the titles that his dad was never able to do, or his stepbrother, and have Cody Rhodes win at WrestleMania against the best in the business right now, Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn, like, there's nothing there. There's nothing to go off of. You would have a month and a half to build up this imaginable feud between Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. It just wouldn't work. So, but speaking of Cody and the fact that on Monday night, 2 Monday nights now, he has came out in full support of Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see Cody Rhodes actually being involved at all, whether it's in the corner, out on the ring mat, whatever? Do you see Cody Rhodes being involved in this match?
No.
You don't see him.
I don't think Cody's there. No. I see no point of Cody coming out. I don't think he'll be there.
I think he'll be at the end, and he'll either. I think Zayn will lose, and Cody Rhodes comes out to basically save Zayn along with KO, and he'll just lay the smackdown on Roman Reigns and get the upper hand real quick.
So the way I see this whole match going is obviously Bloodline coming out. You will see at some point Jay will be there. Jay will end up screwing over Sami in a super kick of some way. It's something of along the lines of Jay severing the support that he has because blood is thicker than water. Yes, he called him a brother.
Phrase, but okay,
I know, but he's called Sami a brother, something like that. But him and Roman are family, and by him screwing Sami Zayn over is going to set up, and like you had just said too, of either Cody or Kevin, one of the two or both, coming out will set up Sami and Kevin and KO against the Usos at Mania for the tag titles. And now, however this match goes, I see Reigns winning it, and I see Jay screwing over Sami in some way. Now, I don't know if the entire Bloodline comes out and they're around or whatever, and they get kicked out, and then from wherever Jay shows up because they didn't come out with them, and screws over Sami. Because I don't see Jay coming out with them. I see Jay showing up later on.
I think that'll be the story arc right there because they're already setting up for Jay to face off Roman Reigns.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been over a year in the making now because Jay never
acknowledged.
Really yeah,
he did acknowledge. He got beat into it.
Yeah, he got forced because Jimmy got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see that. Inevitably, that's just gonna happen. But I do see, like you said, Solo and Jimmy will come down. Jay will come down later. But I see it as ref's gonna be down. Jay's gonna get in the ring and basically pick up a chair, and he's going to somewhat face off against Roman and have that like choose your fate type moment where he stared down the barrel of the gun of, do I hit Roman Reigns or do I hit Sami Zayn, lulling Roman Reigns in a false sense of I'm still part of this family, because he's already said he's out. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be that type of moment, and then Jay's going to smack, super kick, whatever. He's going to do something that's going to cause Zayn to get pinned. I don't think Roman Reigns will be able to do it on his own at all. I think they're going to keep him heavily protected, and it's going to be a dirty win. And I think at that point, that's when we're going to see KO come out to help fight off Jay and Roman, and then Jimmy will come out and Solo will come out, and that's when we see Cody Rhodes come out.
At that point, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I don't see Jay coming out like you said, all right, but I don't know if a chair will be a factor, or if it just be a straight super kick of some kind. Because I think what he ended up doing is he'll go to both. They're both down, and he's trying to pick them both up. And he picks up Sammy first, then goes and picks up Roman, and super kicks Sammy. And then they kind of go through that while the ref's down or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I do see it's setting up for a tag title match between the Usos and then KO and Sammy.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if they did that, they would have to let KO and Sammy win the tag match. So where the Bloodline has no gold. Or, that's not even how they would do it. They would let them keep the gold, so where Jay and Jimmy now have the only gold in the Bloodline. Deepening the division between the four of them. He who wears the gold is the head of the table. And the tribal chief does not have gold anymore because Cody Rhodes takes at WrestleMania, so you're not the head of the table anymore. You're not providing for the family. The tag teams are. So, but yeah, I think there will be involvement, whether or not it's a collective or just one or two people. But this will lead to a tag match. So, pretty much on agreement on almost all of them. Weirdly. However, other than, SmackDown not being on the card at all, again, I think this is the second pay-per-view we've had where little to no SmackDown is involved. So I think the other one was in December.
Yeah, and I think, again, we have no
SmackDown Women's either.
No IC title?
Nope.
And they haven't had the IC title up for anything in a while. It's been on SmackDown that they've defended it.
Yeah, I don't think it's been on pay-per-view. But I think they're doing that on purpose because SmackDown has the undisputed, while Raw only has the US.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the women's division, but men's division is unfortunately who carries it.
And when was the last time the SmackDown women's title was defended? Because it was changed on SmackDown. When
it was just a couple. It was just a couple weeks ago when Flair faced off against the Bill again.
No, I mean on a pay-per-view.
Oh, the Liv and Ronda match. So a few months, probably October.
Was that?
I think it was at Extreme Rules or TLC's. Whoever match that was.
Okay. So since late last year. Because Flair took it November?
I feel like.
On SmackDown, not on pay-per-view, which she just came back and demanded a match and then won it. So they clearly were just waiting for her to come back and to get Ronda out of the way.
Yeah, so Extreme Rules is when the last time the women's SmackDown champion was on the line.
Okay.
And that was in October.
And so I'm assuming that Mania they're going to have every title. I would assume.
No, the IC won't be on there.
That's fucking dumb. But they don't.
That's how it's going. I don't.
Probably. I don't know why they're dogging out IC title so bad.
IC wasn't on last year's either because Ricochet had the IC title last year, and he lost it to Gunther on SmackDown
the night before, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's right.
So
that's
not too far-fetched.
No.
However, the last thing we'll talk about before we wrap this up, Bray Wyatt. He seems to be he seems to be in a interesting spot now where like that slow burn leading up to his match against LA Knight, people were hyped, but then people started to get bored, and now people are pissed off and upset about it. And there was one saying that we'll see an appearance at Elimination Chamber of Bray Wyatt's next opponent. Basically, he's gonna find somebody. but it has to be somebody on the card. So how would you go about that?
Who the fuck would he? Who on the card would he even? I mean, right now, LA Knight was the best one he's had, and probably the best one he's going to have for a while, because who like
Priest would be the only one.
that's what I would
Day.
think, but it makes too much sense to have a. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
it's too logical. It can't.
It does. It makes too much sense for that to work, unless he went after Montez Ford. But
no,
would that be? I mean, I don't know who the hell he would go after. You can't have Rollins, so I don't think that's going to work.
Can't have Edge. Can't have Lashley. Can't have Lesnar. Can't have Ford. Can't have Theory. Can't have Gargano. Can't have Reed. Literally leaves you with Finn Balor or Damian Priest.
Unless what's his name? Gargano's fucking dude. I can't remember the dude's name. Loomis. Unless him and Loomis went at it, but Loomis doesn't talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it would work. Loomis is a psychopath, but I don't know. I mean, I really have no idea. Like, he killed LA Knight, so Uncle Howdy dropped an invincible elbow, leg drop, body drop on him, and then blew him up. So LA Knight's dead. Uncle Howdy's still burning, while the Rat Pack sat and watched everything happen. So I don't know what they do with him now. I hope something, but the storyline needs to develop more because it's driving me crazy. I want to see more characters.
Okay, so do you think he makes an appearance at Elimination Chamber? Yes or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's simple. That's simple. That's all the question was.
I don't think he does. I've been wrong once, so maybe.
I'm sorry, you've only been wrong once?
Moving on.
Moving on would be wrapping up. Once, my ass. You've been right once or twice.
Multiple times.
2 times is multiple times.
Multiple times. Just leave it at that. Don't cloud the issue with your facts. Let's just wrap this shit up.
All right, that's fair. I'm going to go make me a new drink. Anyways.
Diabetes.
By the way, for wrap up, I found something interesting out today.
Here we go.
Because you all hear at the end of every episode, Rogel says, "Bye, bitch." Did you know that is Lizzo's favorite saying, and she also says that all the time?
I don't know who Lizzo is.
She's a singer.
Singer?
About Damn Time, that song?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard it on TikTok. Shut up. I know you have. Anyways.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just found that interesting. That interview where it's like, "What's your favorite thing?" I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" It was Jimmy Fallon. And she's like, "Yeah, I love saying, bye, bitch." And I was like, "Hold on. Rewatch."
He must listen to our podcast. So I said it first.
I don't think you did.
Said bye, bitch, for many years. many years.
We barely been on the air for a year. But anyways.
I've been around before she was born.
Hell no.
By 6 years. She's 34. Oh. Got her by this many. That's 6. For those of you listening, I'm holding up 6 fingers.
He's really not. It's Army 6. But anyways.
Bullshit. Go to YouTube and watch it out. You'll see there's 6.
Oh no, it got clipped from the scene. Oh, how did that happen?
Imagine that holding me down, keeping me back.
Always. Can't let you succeed in life. Only one of us can. I called dibs early on. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. As always, new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Check out YouTube for the video edition. And yeah, that's all we got for you guys. Until next time, I'm Sigalicious, and here's Roggy, the ruggable Barbie doll.
You're fired. I'm ready for Saturday. See what happens in the chamber. But
Tune
yeah,
in
hey
on
Lizzo,
Peacock. 8
bye,
p.m.
bitch.